Hey everyone, welcome back to Bird Talk with Terrence Mathis. I'm William Brandon. Please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel Atlanta Sports Unlimited and turn on those notifications so you don't miss an episode. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks, the simplest sports fantasy game on the market. You can pick from multiple sports platforms. And get this, sign up using the code ASU and Prize Picks will 100% match your initial offer up to $100. Well, just like the Falcons started the season on a streak, the Falcons are currently on another streak, a two-game loser streak after falling to the Jacksonville Jaguars over in London, 23-7. There's many things that I could probably gripe about, but I think I've kind of calmed down since the initial day we text. Where are you at about this loss?
Well, I've been analyzing it, trying to figure things out, looking at the whole picture of what's going on with this Falcons football team. And right now, they do not have an identity on the offensive side of the ball. People can say, yeah, that's what they do, run the ball, this and that. But for some reason, it's it's not enough.
Mm-hmm.
It's in today's NFL, it's not enough. Now, I've seen all the reports, even on the big networks whatsoever, bashing Ritter. He's not that guy. He's not that guy. He may not be that guy for this football team. But here we go. He may not be that guy for this football team, but for this offensive football team. But let's look at everyone on this offensive football team.
Right.
You can't just look at one guy and say he's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Offensive line hasn't been playing extremely well this year. That's one. And here's the thing. I love these guys to death, Mac Hollins and Drake London and Kyle Pitts, whatsoever. They're just not getting open.
Yeah.
Honestly, they're just not getting open. And then thirdly, I this is the head coach Arthur Smith's third year. Mm-hmm. And this year, especially in this Jacksonville game, he looked confused. And I never seen him like that. I have never seen him in that kind of posture, like he didn't know what to do. Mm-hmm. And it struck me as odd because usually he jumps around, he yells, get the guys going, whatsoever, blah, blah, blah. And, Ritter may not be the guy. He may not be the guy, but everybody on that offense, even in the coach's offensive meeting room, have to look themselves in the mirror also and say, are they doing the best that they can do to help this offense be successful as well?
Yeah, there were multiple plays, calls I necessarily questioned. Of course, I, like many other people, questioned Ritter, but I bring myself back to this is only his eighth start. It's only his eighth game. I know he played a few last year, so we kind of put that in the back of our head, but it's kind of still like a rookie season for him.
Yeah.
Since I feel like maybe the play calling is not putting him in the best position to succeed sometimes. And then other times I'm wondering if the team was actually prepared for this trip. I know we talked about earlier on when they may even got out there, and I think we may have been Thursday or Friday. I personally am not going to say that's the reason, but I just don't understand if you're jumping that many time zones, why wouldn't you be out there all week to get acclimated, get prepared? I noticed them slipping a lot. Yes, it's a grass. I feel like they should have been well aware of that. Maybe they had proper footing, maybe practice on a wet grass surface, because I saw a lot of people slipping. So overall, I just saw so much unpreparedness from my point of view on the offensive side of the ball. The defense, they continue to keep us in the games, continue to keep us in the games. You only can ask them, for so much.
Right.
They've been maintaining, they've been keeping the game. The offense has to provide some points at some point.
Yeah, I thought the defensive line played well. I keep saying this week after week. Jesse Bates is a dude. He is. He's a real man. He's a real football player. He comes to play every single Sunday. and I love watching him play. And another dude is Robinson. Bijan Robinson is a dude.
Yeah.
You know, it and I'm gonna go back to the offensive side of the ball because there's not much we can correct defensively. Yeah, because at the same time, yeah, we may get beat for a touchdown. Yeah, they may have a big play. Yeah, they may score 20 points or more whatsoever, 24 points. Mm-hmm. But you got to understand this, and I've said this for years. We do realize the other team get paid too to play, right? Yeah. They're professionals too.
Right.
They're paid to make plays.
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna make plays too. So it's not like we're playing against people who's not supposed to be playing football. We're playing against people that are the best at what they do and get paid well for what they do. So you're gonna have some back and forth. But then you gotta there's maybe 2 or 3 plays in a ball game that can turn the tide and help you win a football game. So looking at this offensive side of the ball, I kept hearing the commentators kept saying, Louis Riddick kept saying, I wouldn't take Robinson out the game. I wouldn't take it. I try to use him as much as I can. He's a young legs, blah, blah, blah. That's the only thing going for him.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they're doing. And what it does to your offense, it gets your offense stagnant when you know as a receiver or a tight end or whoever, you're going, oh, he's getting the ball. He's in the game. He's getting the ball. So now when it's your time, you're not tuned in mentally to say, okay, now is the ball coming to me. I got to get open. Well, you should have been working on that defensive back, doing run plays, or when balls are away from you, working and see how you can get open whatsoever. You don't wait till your number is called and then decide you want to run a route and get open. And that's the issue I'm having right now is this, everybody, oh, he threw a pick 6. Oh, that was an awful throw. He threw it right at the guy. Okay. He did throw it right at the guy, but he threw it where his receiver was supposed to be. See, if you can, go back and watch the play, put it in slow motion. He's supposed to run, Drake London's supposed to run a slant. And when you run a slant, it's a 3-step slant. Now, where he was lined up at on the right side of the ball, so his left foot was up at the line of scrimmage. So he goes 1, 2, 3, outside foot, sticks to the ground, and runs an angle in front of the defender. And it's a timing throw. And Ridder seen the window and he let it go on time. Now, you go back and watch this. He takes 3 steps and 2 shuffle steps and gets in there late. And the defender beat him to the punch and he threw it, boom, pick 6. So right there, it was not a very good route and it's on Ridder's part. And the ball's supposed to come out. As soon as he grabs that ball, he turns, he reads the coverage, and he lets it go because it's a timing route. So he was expecting London to be there on his 3rd step and crossing the face of that defender. Right. London went 3 steps and 2 shuffle steps. So he went 5 steps. Now he's not where he's supposed to be. So everybody said, oh, he threw a pick 6. Then we get the ball back and he throws another interception. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, that's
let me break this play down to you. First of all, I didn't like the concept.
Yeah.
You had the guys too tight. You had Drake London here. He was probably about 5 yards from the end man on the line. And you had Pitts, who was on the end of the line this on the other side, on the right side of the offense, and you're trying to run a crossing route with another kind of take 2 corner. Yeah. That's what we call it, take 2 corner. You're supposed to take your corner, your defensive back with you, and grab the safety, and the safety's supposed to get deep with you too, which creates the open right in the middle of the field. So here's the thing. I didn't like the concept because you went take 2 corner, which means as soon as you went to the corner, the safety just stops because the corner has you, because that's his area. If you'd have took a take 2 post where you get up and cross the safety's face, now you're really taking 2 people with you, because now the safety says, I got to get back deep. So now once he's back deep and once Pitts breaks in there, there's nobody there. So that passing concept I thought was not correct.
No.
Now on the route, when the DB intercepted the ball, he dove for the ball, so the ball was low, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that tells me one or two things. Either Pitts was too deep on the route, or it was just it was just a throw that he just let it go. Right. Because if Pitts, I don't know how deep that route is called for, if it's 12 yards, 15 yards, but when he ran that route, he got to the top of it and bubbled towards the safety instead of flattening it out, coming downhill, crossing the safety's face. Mm-hmm. Now, if he would have did that, that ball would have hit him right in the face. But he bubbled, which took him deep, which made that safety almost on the same level with him, and there was the pick. So that's two plays right there. Now, let's talk about the third play offensively. Mack Hollins gets 3 steps on the defender, and it was underthrown. The reason why it was underthrown, I thought it was late for one. He should, once he hit his back foot, he should have let that ball go. And two, the reason he was late, I think he was worrying about pressure, mm-hmm. and he didn't set his feet. And he still got hit on the play. But if he would have set his feet, he would have had more velocity on the ball. And there's a touchdown that we can't get back today.
No, definitely can't. And, and I'm glad you brought those up. Because the first one, I'll go back to the first one that you were speaking about. And it's funny you say that because another former Falcon receiver, mm-hmm. had almost, the same thinking. He tweeted out, mm-hmm. Mohamed Sanu mm-hmm. tweeted out that wasn't friendly for the QB. Right. And somebody was like, what do you mean? He was like, I'm not saying in the same play. He was like, I'm just showing you the meaning of a friendly, being friendly for your QB, meaning you're going to have to do some work too. Right. Mm-hmm. And he was showing it, and Sanu actually showed a route. I guess he ran. Right.
I knew which route I seen it. He showed it. He showed the route he ran, and he showed the other routes.
And it looks like similar, exactly. And
it's definitely, it is what he said is definitely true. Mm-hmm. We as wide receivers have to help your quarterback at all costs, mm-hmm. because he's under duress every time he drops back to pass. Right. So when the ball is in the air, we have to be in a position to go get the ball. So you have to make sure you have angles enough when that ball is in the air and you see danger coming to go attack the ball and not wait for the football, because that guy is coming too. So when I teach young receivers, that's all we talk about. Get back, attack the ball, hands in front. Get back, get downhill, attack the ball, hands in front. We talk about it all the time, and we talk about it to make it make sense to them. I tell them, I said, so if I threw a scholarship up in the air, you gonna wait for it to come down?
Yeah.
Go get it. You see what I'm saying? Or you gonna go get it?
Yeah,
go
exactly.
Get the football.
Go get it.
Go get it. And that's the thing. I watch, and I'm not dogging these guys. I'm giving you information on how to get better.
Right.
This is something how we can get better. I watch Pitts run routes, and he gets to a certain point and he turns his head and he's running routes looking at the quarterback. For one, that slows you down. For two, you're not at your depth yet. So the quarterback is always going to be late because you've already signaled the defensive players that the ball is in the air by you looking back. So they stop their feet and are ready to break when the ball is in the air. So I'm looking at these routes and going, come on, guys. You guys are like, it's like they're playing in the park, mm-hmm. and they just running around and throw me the ball, woo, throw me the ball, woo, and it's one of those things that you and the quarterback, you'd never be on the same page if you're inconsistent in what you're doing route running, and if he's inconsistent because he doesn't know when to release the ball or what's going on, or he's looking at pass rush whatsoever, or if he's just not setting his feet, or if he's not even reading the coverage correctly. Mm-hmm. So it's a array of things that's going on. It's from the passing scheme to the play calling to the receivers to the quarterback. It's all of them. Now, I'm gonna get on this. I'm gonna get on this rant for a little bit, William.
Before you do, the second play that you talked about, just for the fans, I think that was, like you say, a play calling issue, because people talked about that. They had too many. They had, like you said, the receivers, I think it was Pitts and London, going into the same part of the field.
Area.
All the
Same area.
defenders are there.
Yep.
It's going to
Yep.
be easy for him to throw a pick
Right.
when you have multiple defenders.
Right.
That play call there made a lot of people scratch their heads,
Right.
like, come on, you're
Yeah.
not doing the offense any favors.
Yeah. And that's what, when we talked about this offense 3 years ago, and I always said, you have too many guys in one area in between the numbers, which brings 11 defenders inside the numbers too.
Right.
And if you'd have watched that defense, the secondary
is all in, yeah.
Probably majority of the time never got as deep as 12 yards because, for one, they knew they weren't throwing it deep. For two, they knew they weren't going to throw it. No one had speed enough to get by them. And for three, they was trying to stop the run. So even if we couldn't run by them anyway on first down, throw it over their heads or whatever, just to make them back up.
Yeah.
You know, foul ball. Okay, you keep doing this, we're going to connect on one. So I don't know. I scratched my head because every time they showed Arthur Smith, he looks like he was confused, like he didn't know what to call. And that's not like him. So I don't know what was going on whatsoever. Maybe got frustrated. Maybe he felt that it was lost cause, that nothing was working. So he got frustrated at that point. So going back to that game, after the game, I seen something that was very disturbing to me. What we do when we're talking about sports and as journalism, as analysts whatsoever, we must respect the players. We must respect the game.
Right.
When a journalist walks in the locker room and tries to divide the locker room by the question he asks to the players, I have a problem with that. When that reporter went to the receiver, Mack Hollins, when he went to Mack Hollins and said, hey, it looked like you and Ritter had some beef and you didn't want to have any dealings with him.
Yeah.
He jumped back and said, what are you talking about? He says, it's all over the net. And he was like, then he had to take a breath and then went on in a whole different direction trying to figure out what was going on. Then he asked London the same question, what about your quarterback, blah, blah, blah. So if a locker room is going to get divided, we as players is going to divide it. We ain't going to let nobody from the outside come in and divide it. So even if we feel the way we feel, we ain't going to tell you that this ain't the guy. Right. Well, we ain't going to tell you that we don't like the play calling. We're not going to do that. So we're not going to let someone come inside that's not around us 4, 5, 6, 7 days out of the week and try to divide us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
that makes sense.
And then let's talk about that because it's been all over the net. Let's talk about that. Here's what I see. Well, let me tell you what people see. They seen Ritter coming off the field and Mack Hollins sitting on the sideline, and Ritter puts his hand out and Mack Hollins jumps up and don't acknowledge the hand.
Yeah.
This is what I seen. I seen Ritter coming off the field, and I seen Hollins having a conversation with somebody down there. It could have been a receiver coach. It could have been another player. It could have been a head coach. And they was in a conversation. I don't know if it was heated or not, but he was trying to get his point across, and he stood up. And I guarantee you, he didn't see Ritter's hand come out.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that. So the person who put that out there, you got your likes, you got your reposts, you got your retweets. Everybody's talking about it. Congratulations. But that, I promise you, that was not the case. I can almost guarantee you that was not the case. And the thing is, for a team that is vulnerable as they are right now, as young as they are right now, they're going to have to find a way. Here's the thing. They're going to have to find a way. They love you, fans. They love your reaction. They want you at the games. But right now, after 4 games, they have to come together.
Right.
Come to Jesus talk, and has to be, it's us against the world now. Because every little thing you do from here on out is going to be scrutinized.
It is.
Everything. Now, for a young quarterback who's starting only his 4th game, because the first 4 games were preseason last year. Mm-hmm. Season's over with whatsoever. It was preseason games. Mm-hmm. This is his first 4 games of the year of his NFL career. So he has a lot ways to go. So, and then here's the thing. And so I heard on TV today, I just happened to be flipping the channels, and they said if Justin Fields was on Atlanta Falcons team right now, they would be 4-0, blah, 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 this and that and this and blah, blah, this, blah, blah, blah. Ritter's not the guy, blah, blah, blah. Okay, shut up. 2 years ago, he was sitting there, and Atlanta Falcons did not draft him.
Right.
They had a situation where they could have went out and got him before the season started with a trade, and they did not do that. Mm-hmm. If they wanted Justin Fields here, Justin Fields would have been here. So we can go ifs and whats and buts and this and that and that and this. It ain't going to happen this year. Mm-hmm. It's not like at the deadline on the 31st or whenever it happens. It's not like, what are you going to do? So you're going to have to make a big sale to get Justin Fields. You're going to have to get Pitts up. I guarantee you're going to have to get Pitts up. You might have to give Grady up. And you might have to give Algier up. Mm-hmm. So are you willing to give your cowbells away for Justin Fields right now at this part of the season?
Or, and I don't think they would do that, but way he's been playing, and then they have the number 1 and number 2 pick currently. I think his value is dropping, is why people are throwing that out there.
Right.
That the Falcons could probably, probably Pitts would probably definitely be a part of it. Right. And some picks, but I don't think they would have to part with Grady and now.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I would love to see Justin Fields here. I thought we was going to draft him at number 8.
We talked about it, yeah.
And I was shocked. But here we go. Is play calling going to change?
Right.
Is the scheme going to change because Justin Fields is your quarterback now? Let's look at it now.
I agree.
Let's really look at it. Now, I'm not saying that it wouldn't change, but are we willing to take that chance? I'm willing to take the chance. Mm-hmm. I would love to see Justin Fields here with Robinson and Hollins, and even if we can have some way to keep Pitts and then London. Oh my God, Smith, Algier. Another year with this offensive line. Come on, man. Be lights out. Be lights out. But, look, I'm not the GM. I'm not the owner of the football team, whatsoever. I can tell you how you can make this thing happy where it can be friendly for everybody. All you do, call me.
Definitely call him.
Yeah.
At least to start with the receivers.
Right. It's William, I couldn't believe it, man. I'm jumping in my seat like, come on. Mm-hmm. What are you doing? The long ball where London went out for one hand. Mm-hmm. Instead of him keep running, he turned his whole body, put his elbow on the guy, and then tried to catch it with one hand. Even the announcer just said, even Louis Riddick said, just keep running and catch the ball with 2 hands. I would like to see you do that. Mm-hmm. Why are we always for the spectacular instead of just doing the basic stuff? Be sound at what you do,
Yeah, we ain't good enough to be trying to do spectacular.
Now, once you have your technique and you sound in the area and all this stuff, that stuff happens naturally. Don't go out there playing to do it. Oh, if a ball comes like this, I'm going to catch it with one hand. Let's practice that before the game. Catching with one hand. Let's practice jumping up high, doing all this. How many times in the game do you have a chance to do that? Maybe once every 3 or 4 games. But the basic catches, the easy catches, How much do you practice that?
Right.
How much do you practice that?
Definitely. Yeah, I almost thought they just went over there for vacation, honestly. The offense was just frustrating. Like I said, the defense, though, they are the bright spot. Going into Monday night, I haven't seen the latest stats, but going into Monday, they were 10th in scoring defense, 19.3 points per game, 7th in total yardage, 6th in yards per play, 5th in passing yardage, and 17th in rushing yardage, because we did kind of get killed here lately on the run. But overall, we've been stout on that defense.
Well,
and like you said, it's going to happen in the locker room if there's an issue with Ridder. Right now, the team, I believe, is still behind the young man. He's undefeated at home. They're going to give him this opportunity to get these victories, at least these next two at home, I'm assuming, before they start to hit the panic button.
You know, here's the thing. For years, this organization has been known for offense. Offense.
Yeah.
And we couldn't stop anybody. You know, couldn't stop anybody. Now that we have a defense, and now we can't put up 30 points a game. You put up 30 points a game, you win it. You know, even 28, because if they only giving up, 17, 14, whatever points they're giving up a game, we win it.
Right.
So the thing is we got to score points in bunches. Let's score in bunches, and because we know our defense is going to give us the ball back, and we're going to have opportunity to score. And here's the thing: I'm gonna be at the game Sunday.
All right.
The reason I'm excited about going to this football game is not just watching this football team in person. I want to see the way they interact on the sidelines. You can't see that on TV. Right. I want to see the sidelines. I want to see the players' demeanors, the conversations, the coaches' demeanors, whatsoever, because the sideline tells you a lot about a football team. If guys are standing on the sideline looking uninterested whatsoever, I have a problem with that. If there's not animated conversation between players or players and coaches, there's no sense of urgency going on right now if I see that. So I hope I see what I want to see. I want to see the sense of urgency. I want to see the animated conversations between players and coaches, and a whole lot of uplifting your teammates to be successful.
Right.
And then everything else, the field stuff, I ain't worried about that. They're going to fix that. They'll fix it and be better.
Yeah, so as he said, he'll be there this Sunday. That'll be against the Houston Texans, who are currently 2 and who are currently have one of the top quarterbacks in the league, and he is a rookie. Number 2 overall pick, C.J. Stroud, is performing well above expectations right now. They just beat the Steelers, and then they beat the Jags, who just beat us. So we're going to have – the fans are going to have to be loud to help out. And, again, that's on the defensive side. We just got to hope that offense puts it together, because these Texans are putting up points. They're putting up points.
Well, just fans show up and show out, like I always say. Hey, I this is an important game for this franchise this year. Is for Arthur Smith, for this organization, for these players. This is a very, very important game for them. And it's almost like last week I said I'm gonna sit back and not panic. This week you see me sit up a little bit. Now I'm kind of like ready to get out my. We have to win this one, or I'm gonna be standing up when we do the show next time. Yeah. So it's one of those games that it's not a must-win game, but it's a game that you need to win.
Yeah, and as T-Math says, we go by quarters. This is the beginning of the second quarter. We finished 2-2.
Yes,
the first quarter.
Winning football.
Yep. Yeah. So now let's get back to the winning. Let's get back to it. Let's start this quarter off right.
That's right.
What you got for us to end today?
You know what? I don't have much today because of the fact that, just you want to be blessed. Be a blessing to others and bless others. When we and when I speak here about what I see, it's not downing the players. It's not saying they can't do it. What I'm saying, what I'm speaking about is what I'm seeing that's stopping them from being the best that they can be. Because I want them to be better. Because if I have that type of attitude, I know that God is going to bless me. You want to be blessed, bless others with your words, with the things you say and the things you do, and he'll bless you. But don't be the first one to pull up your chair, your judgment chair, and sit there and judge, because one day you're going to be judged more than you judged others. At the end of the day, what I say, what I do, the things where I go whatsoever is what I do. And the only person that can judge me is God himself. So I care about people. I love people because that's what the Bible says. Love others before you love yourself. So I love you, but in the same breath, I don't live for you. I live for God. So I'm not on this earth to please you. I'm on this earth to please God, because at the end of the day, I got to answer to him. So when you attack me or my family, my friends, my teammates, it doesn't bother me, because you don't matter, really. Only person that matters is God himself, and then my family, and then my close circle of friends that truly love me unconditionally. That's what you need to understand. I tell people all the time, my circle is so small that you have to stand on your toes to get in there. You have to.
Yeah.
So close your circle off and watch how blessed you get. Close it off, because there's the bigger your circle, there's going to be somebody whispering in somebody's ear, oh, he think he's all that. He don't know what he's talking about. I don't know. He ain't nothing. She ain't nothing. I don't know. She this. So close your circle off and be with those that's going to uplift you and sharpen you and sharpen others. That's all I got.
Thank you as always, T. We
appreciate
it. All right, Falcons. He will be in the building Saturday. Y'all come check him out. Falcons, let's get this dub. Let's get back to the winning side of things.
Yes, sir.